how are we all doing? How's the energy levels in here? I know this is just before lunch. Good? Nice. Yay! So hi everyone, I am Pauline, and today I'll be talking about the hot topic of AI, as if, I feel like, wait, is this the first talk about AI? Have you heard about AI a lot? Do you know AI? Yes, okay, I can see a lot of nods here. Great. So today I'll be talking about AI specific to communities. So my first question for everyone is, have you ever wondered if the internet is slowly being overrun by bots, talking to each other in this endless loop? And this is actually something that some people call this dead internet theory. Has anyone heard of that before? Show of hands? Nice, okay, cool. So for those who don't know, this suggests that a large portion of our online activity is actually driven by AI and bots rather than real humans. I've actually pulled two examples here from Twitter or X, whatever you like to call it, that really demonstrates this. But you see this all over the internet. So you can see that Danny tweeted, half of my replies on here are AI generated now, and only 10% feels genuine. And then in another tweet, you can see literally just bots with like human faces and different accounts, verified accounts as well, that's literally just AI-generated content. And when we think about these communities and what Twitter was, in my opinion, the initial community platform. But now, let me just go back. As we look at these types of examples, it creates this very sterile environment. Nothing like what the internet used to be, especially communities, because communities are supposed to be these living and breathing spaces where these genuine human interaction happens. Actually, I made a lot of my friends on Twitter. I was on Twitter in 2008, and I got my career from there. I built it all online. And so seeing this shift to more of these cold AI bot replies has been really sad to watch. But if we just go back to like what community is, so this is a textbook definition of community. To me, I've like underlined the most important characteristics, I guess, of what a community is. So for me, a community isn't just a group. It's about the shared connection. People coming together for shared interests and values. And overall, it's just, unlike the previous slide, bots talking to us or bots talking to each other, it's humans interacting with humans. And as a result of that, creating the sense of belonging and where people can feel supported and seen. And this is my favorite part of communities, But in this talk specifically, I'm actually going to be talking about building communities for your open source projects or dev tooling companies. So for me, even though everything I said in this previous slide still apply to like these dev communities, I just wanted to focus more on the community I'll be talking about is this gathering of all of your users, your customers, your super fans. And I have been building communities now for a couple of years. Previously, I used to work as head of community at a company called Gitpod, and now I work at Versal, leading their customer community efforts. So over the past year, as I said, I've been building this community space. And what this space is, it's a place for us to create a generation of Versal experts. Actually, show of hands, who's heard of Versal? Great, most of the room, fantastic. I don't have to go into that. But yes, so this is our community space. It's on community.versal.com. And this is where we bring together all of our customers, all of our superfans, all of our users in one single space. It's hosted on Discourse, which is, one of the original forum platforms, and it's essentially where all of our customers come in and ask us questions about how they can be successful on Vercel and in the wider ecosystem. We share events here. We share common knowledge within Vercelians and our customers, so that they can all learn and collaborate together. And ultimately, it serves this wider mission of creating a generation of Vercel experts where everyone becomes a Vercel expert, because the Vercel ecosystem is very vast, and we ship so much that one of our common kind of customer feedback is, you ship too much. And so this space is for everyone to learn. But it's not just a traditional forum where we answer questions and support customers that way. It's also a space where we move away from the asynchronous kind of traditional forum style, and we bring our customers on stage with us and share that kind of, Vercel stage. And so this is a good example. That's actually an initiative led by my colleague Amy Egan. So shout out to her, where we basically bring our community members, our customers, our fellow Vercelians, people who work at Vercel, to just share knowledge about this is what I built with V0, this is what I built with our AI SDK, and just basically showing off what they're doing. And we also have a couple in the pipeline where you can actually learn about how Vercel became Vercel. So keep an eye out for that. If any of you are interested, this is actually a really good stream that I recommend everyone start with. So we have Flo. She was a community member. She now works at Vercel, actually, where she talks about how you can craft personalized software with V0. Super interesting. She really pushes how you can use V0 for your different projects. So yeah, we run these every single week, and we get around 100 to 300 customers a week listening in and really understanding how to use Vercel to kind of its limits. And it's been super successful because customers then say, hey, I want to go into the next one. I want to share what I've done. And so it really creates this space where we're sharing knowledge with each other. Another part of what we do in the Vercel community is we host these hiring discussions. So basically, we open up this thread and we're like, hey, if you are hiring for anyone in the Vercel ecosystem that needs to know Next.js, the AI SDK, how to use V0, you should put your job ad here. And then we also have a separate thread that's hire me. So people who are looking for gigs, we connect them with the right people. So as you can see, this community space isn't just about asking questions about how to use our products, but it's also about connecting people, connecting our customers with people at Vercel and the wider community. It's also about people, our users who want to get a job working more in our kind of ecosystem. And we kind of all link them together. I just wanted to say, last week, we had some feedback from a recruiter in London who actually said that he keeps an eye out in these threads every single month because he gets some super high quality candidates from here. So as you can see, the community kind of serves its purpose of, educating customers, connecting customers with each other, and also connecting talent. And yeah, I'm really proud of the work we've done here, and it's only a year old. So now let's go and loop back to AI. Who has used v0.dev here? Hands up. Okay, a couple. Great. Who's used any kind of Gen AI type products here before? Great, amazing. So V0 is just another one of those, but it's specific to our Vercel ecosystem. So what people can do now is literally, doesn't matter which background they come from, they can go in and ask, they just have an idea, build me I can't think of any creative ideas on the spot here. Give me a recipe app. That's so bland, but I want to create an app that hosts recipes. They can just prompt V0, and then the beauty of V0 is that once you prompt it, it creates an app for you. It's all optimized on Next.js and all of our different kind of tools. And then with just one click, you can deploy directly on Vercel, and literally you go from an idea you had 5 minutes ago to a bit of prompting for like an hour or so, and then you have a working app. I've spoken to so many of our community members and customers over the last couple of months, and I've seen them build businesses and their own companies out of V0, which is very exciting. But V0 isn't just for building applications, it's also for education. And so this is where it gets a little bit more interesting, because there's a lot of discussions right now on why do we have these community spaces? Are forums dead? Because I can literally just ask V0 or ChatGPT, help me learn this thing, or help me debug this problem. And so one of the things that V0 does very well is that it's trained on everything in the Vercel world, so you can literally ask anything. And here's my example of how do I use ISR on my project? And it gives me some ideas, and then also an example if I want to implement that in my own projects. And you can keep doing that, so it becomes teacher, student, learning, and it's all really, really great. But a lot of people miss that you can do that with these kinds of tools. I wanted to highlight a tweet from one of our community members who essentially says, V0 is a great teacher, and now I fully understand how my app works, what code does what. And again, I just wanted to hit home that V0 isn't just for creating an app, it's also really helping you with that learning journey. So, looping back to, do we have space for AI in these communities? And honestly, if you asked me a year ago, and for those who have known me, maybe seen me tweet in the last year, I have been the biggest AI skeptic. Actually, I think I only started using AI when I joined Vercel 1 year ago. And I completely missed the initial wave, because I was I really don't understand why we would be offloading a lot of our thinking, a lot of our creative ideas to a machine when we are all very creative beings. And so I was the biggest skeptic, and I was if you talk about AI and communities, that does not work, and I don't understand in what world that will work. So I just wanted to say I started there. My views have definitely changed over time, especially as I've explored how we can implement AI in communities. So I wanted to begin and just talk about where AI falls short. So one of the things I've said, so if we just go back to what I was saying about V0 and having that be your teacher and talking to it, so we see a lot of our customers, our community members do this already. So they go into V0 and they're help me debug this Next.js issue, I just can't get past it. And now we have bi-directional Git sync that was launched a couple of weeks ago. So it's even easier to get your existing repo and then be okay, what's wrong with my code? So it's even easier now. But the kind of issue here is that because everyone is a builder now, literally your designers, your PMs, anyone in the company can build anything, it gets to a point where when they finally end up in our community, they actually don't want to talk to an AI. Then you'd be surprised, right? So imagine you're a beginner learning, starting to learn learn how to code and starting in your coding journey. You find a tool like V0. You're this is great. Look at what I've built. But then you hit these errors. You hit these blockers, and then suddenly you're oh, I don't know what to do now. And V0 gives you some really good prompts oh, this is the error. This is why. And you can keep clicking it and get it to debug for you, and then you can learn that way. But then eventually, there will come to a point where we've seen in our community people be okay, I've talked to the AI enough. I just want to talk to a real human who has maybe seen the same issue I have. What can I do to debug with someone else, not just an AI? And related to this kind of pitfall is that we have a lot of, AI was first implemented in support. So one of the things that we use at Vercel is we have the /help page where you can actually go and create a case. And then we have an AI helping you. And that has helped reduce so many of our cases, because oftentimes people are like, cool, I got the answer, goodbye. But then if they don't find the answer and then they do have to create a case, or they actually want to talk to a human being, we direct them into the community, and the discussions that come out of that, it's not just like, hey, I need help with this project, I keep getting this error. It's more about like, let's continue to discuss what's going wrong, and then sometimes we get our engineers as well to jump in, and we find like golden product feedback that we wouldn't have gotten if we just stuck AI in front of everything. So yeah, that is my first point. And then, yeah, I wanted to share a story of this previous community that I built. It was hosted on Discord, which I have a hot take on, but you know what, ask me after the break maybe. We can rant about that. But we hosted our community on Discord, and as part of that, the community was growing so much because the project got very popular, and the small community team was me and a community engineer who I actually hired from the community, and we decided that this doesn't scale. We need to find ways to build out like some kind of bot or something to help us answer these questions. So that's exactly what we did. We built a Discord bot. This was before the whole AI like hype. We built it on Discord that basically every time someone asked a question in a specific channel on Discord, it would automatically create a thread, and then inside that thread, a chat bot would be like, oh, these are all of the mentions of anything similar to that. Here's all of the resources. And it worked really well, because then people would go in and be like, oh, wait, my question is answered here. I'm just going to click on that, and then cool. And then they have like a little button that says, now I can close my question. So then over time, we saw this trend. It was quite amazing, actually, where like we had all of these questions, and the bot just helped by literally just doing a bit of knowledge retrieval and being like, here it is. And it was great. It seemed like it scaled very well. But then, have you ever heard of like too much automation or too much optimization? That's exactly what happened in our community. We had a very proactive, dynamic community ambassadors. It was part of a program, and we had like 10 people who went in every single day to answer questions. So then suddenly, one of their main avenues of contribution was completely automated by us, the community team. So we saw people slowly like stop contributing. They stopped advocating for our company, our product, because they were like, well, the bot does it for me anyway, so what am I doing here? So last year, I actually published a blog post called My Community Building Mistakes, and this is actually one of the points I say there. I share that same story. If you are interested, I go on, it's a very long essay about all of the things that I've made, all the mistakes I've made building communities, and how I'm going to prevent that this time around. But I wanted to highlight this quote. So you may be surprised to hear this, but people in your community do not come for these automated bot responses. They come for the people. And as I said, when I started to see that our community ambassadors who were the most active in our community kind of like fade away in the background because the bots were just doing everything, it was really, really sad. So that's something that I tried to prevent this time around. So those are all of the kind of common pitfalls of AI in communities. And now I want to just take a more optimistic turn and talk about where AI can help. This is an example of a question that has come into the community. And as you can see, we've got two system responses. On Discourse, I don't know if any of you are familiar with it, but there's a feature on Discourse for admins and moderators that basically creates these whispers. So these two comments here by system isn't public to anybody. And so what we've done, actually, Anshuman, who is in my team, one of our community engineers, he created a V0 integration in the community that basically adds this system bot, takes what the question was about, and then it creates what we call good first answer. And so good first answer, the V0 like reads the post and it's like, hey, actually I know what they're saying, I know what the problem is, this is the solution, and then it would give us a solution with key resources. So essentially what I just described with the Discord bot, but the difference here is it's hidden from the public, and it's only here to prompt us. And so Anshuman, you can see here, he's taken bits of what V0 has whispered to us and said, hey, welcome to the Vercel community. I can see, et cetera, this is the code maybe you can look at. And then after that, V0, we haven't implemented this yet, but V0 only gives us this initial answer. And then everything else after that doesn't really it doesn't follow up or anything. But this is really good, because this is where everyone in my team now can quickly help customers, our community, get to answers, because we don't have to go through all of our docs. We don't have to go through all of our videos. We don't have to go through all of our community questions. We can just be like, oh, it's right here. And we just copy it, paste it, and then really personalize the message. We never, ever just copy and paste what V0 said, because as you all know, AI can make mistakes, and we are basically the final people to refine it and then say, give it the yes. And so for me, just to hone in this point, AI actually helps us scale and not replace our community builders, our community contributors. It's about helping us scale, because right now the Vercel community is growing at a pace I cannot even tell you. Every day it keeps growing, and I'm like, we need more people to help us out here, and we need to find more ways to use AI to make us all efficient, so we can benefit, everyone can benefit in the ecosystem. So AI helps us scale, but not replace. And that how we do that is with the knowledge retrieval, as I shared, and so one of the things that I love going back on is, so Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, he did an interview where the interviewer asked him, everyone keeps asking you, what are the jobs AI will take? And then he goes on, and then he's like, but has anyone asked you, what are the jobs that AI won't take? And then Sam goes on to talk about how the job that AI won't take are the ones that create these in-person, genuine human connections. And then I obviously quote tweeted that, and I was like, community building is that job. And I see it every day now. The more we get into this AI world, I see community builders increase again, and I think that it correlates to the fact that we use AI for everything. We have a greater, loneliness epidemic, and everyone is like, I am sick and tired of talking to machines. I just want to talk to real people. And so that actually leads us nicely into my colleague, Cap. She hosts these Vercel community meetups across the world. It's a place where all of our developer community, our customer community get together in one place. And I'm sure you all feel this today, in the conference today, where you're meeting new people, you're making these connections, you're having all of these discussions with them, and the vibes are just great. You feel positive, you feel inspired by all the conversations that you're having, because maybe for once this whole week you're actually talking to a human, face to face. And so I see this. So this is the photos that you see here is from the London meetup that I actually hosted 2 months ago. And what I got from this is that people just want to talk to people. And so I've been working with CAP to try and find ways to bridge together this online experience and this in real life experience together, to bring those vibes, the human vibes, into our online community spaces. And I think we've done quite a good job of that. So just to kind of wrap everything up here, I guess we'll go back to the question of, is there space for AI in communities? My answer is yes. Yes, there is space for AI in communities. For the builders in the community, it makes us more efficient. So as I said, knowledge retrieval. We can quickly get to an answer for customers to help solve their issues. We can debug together afterwards. We can create that personalized experience. But another benefit of that is we can also focus on the community building. So that, like, how do we create more of those in-person human experiences in these online spaces? And as I've said, we have these like on-stage live sessions with our community and our customers, and that works so well. So we can actually focus on the important parts of community building, which isn't just having like this Q&A in this like public forum. And in a world where we can easily spend days talking to chatbots, I'm sure we all have here, we should do everything that we can to maintain human connection in these spaces that are essentially built for humans. So you can just ship community. You can even do it with AI, but I would encourage everyone to think about how can we bring more of that in-person, genuine, authentic experiences into your online spaces. If you have any questions, I would love to hear them. You can find me literally anywhere on the internet, but I love hanging out in this community space, so you can find me there. Hopefully I'll see you there, and thank you, and enjoy the rest of your time at Cloud Native Zurich. Thank you so much. We have time for questions.
Thank you very much. We have time for questions. Are there any questions? So, back up.
Throw it.
Julius, I will throw it to you. Back there.
Impressive. I can't see much over here, but hi.
Hi, a very, quick question. Does V0 support any MCP integration? Do you know about that?
I don't know about an integration, but you can definitely set that up. I think we actually have a blog post detailing this. I don't know if it's something that you build on V0, though. Okay. It's definitely something that we do at Vercel.
Okay, thank you.
I can send you the blog after this.
Thank you.
Great question. Any other questions? No additional questions? You can come find me afterwards if you have any more.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Round of applause.
Thank you, everyone.